I am writer and creator of Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer, and I want to show you where I base the character's home life from. Which the character's name is Frankie John Morales. If you're not familiar with Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer, it's circa 1980. Teenager sells marijuana at his high school, but does start off in junior high. That was his origin story in the pilot, and that's pretty much it. But my main focus right here is I want to show you where I get the idea, and again where I based his home life from. Also on 519 Yukon Boulevard, San Antonio, Texas, city south side. Here is where I kind of based Frankie's home life from, the house where he grew up at. So let's take a walk through my house, or my mom's house, or soon to be foreclosed house. Long story short, my brother Henry, he passed away back in January of this year of 2017. He was the only one that was living in the house. Nobody had making any house payments since 2013, before my mom died, and I think she didn't know that they were not making the payments. So, but anyway, that's another story in itself. But anyway, well, here's a house. I'm gonna give you a tour of the house. So here it is. No trespassing sign. Chair. We're trying to keep the upkeep somewhat, but we're gonna sad to say we're gonna let the bank take the house. We talked to a couple of developers, and they say it'll be too expensive. House has too many liens on it, unpaid bills, basically. That's my brother's legacy. So, and also, it's just too much trouble trying to buy the house for $98,000, and a lot of people say that it's best to buy the house after foreclosure. So, buy it at auction, it'll be more cheaper. So, well, anyway, here's a walk through the house. Mom, Dad, I'm home. I always say that every time when I come home from school, or especially my mom or dad, whoever's here. Anyway, well, here is the den. This is back in the day, but the living room was more the focal point before the den. We'd watch TV in this room and all that. There was a wall originally, and that was a garage. We'd installed the den until 1974, 75, somewhere around there during summertime. Well, anyway, and here was our new focal point right here. The den. We'd have our TV right here. Couches would be over here. Originally, when I came out here in October, something told me to come here. Something told me to come here, which was basically, I kind of knew the house was abandoned. I kind of knew my brother's common-law wife abandoned the house. I just had that gut feeling the house was abandoned. So, anyway, here's my brother and his common-law wife. This was day 2007. He actually died 2017, so this is like almost like 10 years earlier, I guess. I think earlier. So anyway, enough of that. The brother thing in the house being foreclosed, that's another story in itself. But again, main focus I want to show you is a tour of the house. This was the laundry room. We'd have a washer, dryer, chest freezer to store dead bodies. Just kidding about the dead bodies. Water heater thing, and the house had seen better days. The house has definitely seen better days. So, during the holidays and whatnot. Originally, we put the tree there by the window. It's kind of blacking out. This is due to my brother's mental state before he died. His mental state was deteriorating, and before he passed away. So he spray painted the windows, and he thought the cops were in there to look inside there, and they thought he thought they're gonna try to pin something on him. That's how bad his mental state was at the time, and he spray painted it and kind of spray painted over this little thingy thing. So he spray painted it due to his mental state, and I guess he had this blocked off, but I guess my brother never heard of aluminum foil and curtains. So anyway, that's FYI if people were kind of wondering about why are the windows spray painted. My brother did that because he thought the cops were looking on him. That's how bad his mental state was. Well, anyway, again, we had the Christmas tree there. We had the Christmas tree here for a couple of times. Then we switched back over there. And again, but the den was the main focal point. Again, here's a washroom. This was a washroom. washer, dryer, chest freezer, where we store the dead bodies. Just kidding about the dead bodies. But we're from a large family. So anyway, now let's take a walk through the kitchen and dining room. This was the kitchen. My mom had a lot of good holiday meals, a lot of good food, a lot of good food my mom would cook. My mom was an awesome cook. Certain things she kind of sucked at, but other than that, vast majority of her food was good. So, there's when the house was abandoned. I already took the stove already, so nobody installed the stove. I took the stove is at my house. Icebox. I don't know why my brother moved the icebox here from over there. I think one time his girlfriend told me, or his wife, common law wife, told me that he wants all of his food convenient. So see, he goes like, I'm going all the way over here, and coming all the way here, and then here. I think he wanted to make things like just something like an assembly line to cook his food. I guess he was a food holic. So as you can tell, where he drilled the holes, the extension cord to run the icebox. So. Well, that's what my brother did, so kind of weird that way, I guess. But anyway, here's where our dining room. We had all our focal points, all of our good stuff to eat. So that's all we had. So which was pretty good. So here's was my sister's room. This was her old room. When we originally moved in this house. We paired off all the rooms. Two brothers, me, my other brother Henry had our own room. Rick and David had his own room. And my sister, she was the only sibling that actually had her own room because she was a girl. Later on, I think whatever happened, I think my brothers didn't, I think Rick and David didn't get along at the time, I guess. And they just basically they moved, Rick had his own room, and so David had to share a room with me and Henry. So, which was kind of cramped when you think about it. Anyway, here is my parents' room. It's kind of a mess. Seriously, a freaking mess. It's again, the house has fallen to really, really bad. It was deteriorated way before my brother passed away. Again, because due to his declining mental state at the time. So this was my parents' room. The house has seen better days. Some of my mom's trinkets right here, religious trinkets. So let's see if I can focus this thing a little bit. It's kind of blurry through the camera's eyes. Well, anyway, but this was my brother's mental state. It was deteriorating over time. My brother was a dreamer. He liked to have fast, easy money. But anyway, this was my parents' room, so yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I got kind of a little emotional right now. So, but again, this is my parents' room, so. Mental state was deteriorating. My brother's mental state was deteriorating. So, but sometimes you get kind of emotional going through the house and seeing how badly the house has fallen to disrepair. But anyway, this was a coat closet. This is my father's personal closet. So he had his honey rufflers, clothes, jackets, whatnot. Again, through the rooms. So let's go upstairs. I remember all these times going up these stairs forever since I was a child. Now, originally, this was my brother Rick's room. We had his own room. Here's a room where I shared with two other brothers. My brother David would sleep here. Me and Henry, we'd had bunk beds, so we'd sleep there. Over time, when my brother Rick and brother David moved out, we actually had our own room. My sister took this room, and I actually took my brother's old room, Richard's old room. And here's where the fun begins. When I started, and when I started dealing, I didn't start dealing in junior high like the cartoon did. Yes, I was a marijuana dealer. I did so in high school. The reason why I'm saying this right now, I looked online for any legal things. Statute of limitations for dealing marijuana is 2 years. Statute of limitations, 2 years. Now, it involved like international smuggling, killing somebody, or whatever. The statute of limitations is longer or indefinitely for murder. But fortunately, I never did anything bad to anybody. Most worst thing I ever did to anybody when I sold marijuana was basically frame somebody like a bully. If a bully was on me, I was kind of nerdish in high school. So what I did is I would plant weed in their locker. I would get the combination, plant weed in their locker, and call school district police, and they would get arrested. Then I wouldn't have to deal with their asses for a while, or maybe forever, which happened on occasion. Well, it beats the alternative of what I could have done to them. So the way I see it, it was a reprieve, a stay of execution, if you will. Well, anyway, you got this bed right here. You can tell we're the original colors. How many rooms this house has been painted? My brother Henry painted this thing kind of like a mint green, which is kind of sucky ass green. Originally, this bedroom or all the rooms in the house were white. Someone went to like a sky blue and a dark blue, which me and my sister painted back in the day. It was like weird though, because we painted these rooms different colors. But I remember from white to sky blue, because me and my sister, we painted the rooms a sky blue, I think during the Christmas holidays. Christmas of '84. I was a senior, and she already been at school already almost like maybe half a year. Graduated, and we painted the rooms during the wintertime. Here's some advice: do not paint any rooms during the wintertime. Wait for the summertime, or wait when the weather gets cold when you have adequate ventilation. The fumes were like overpowering. But anyway, when I got my brother's room, I started selling pot a little bit toward the end of my freshman year. Then I went fully into it during my sophomore year, which was awesome because I had to keep everything lock and key. I would have to hide shit because I had a brother Henry. My brother Henry, the one that lived here, he snooped around a lot. So, anyway, but this is my room. I would check myself out in the mirror. There was a mirror right here that was left over from my brother. So, and it was a trip though. It was a trip. It was my brother's, again, due to my brother's mental state. My weed, I would try to stash weed around here somewhere. I would stash my shit right. Let's see right here. I would stash my shit right here. I would put some stuff here. I was putting weed in years ago. I would stash my weed there. And my brother had a stereo camera he left behind. I would stash, and it was behind some cassettes. And I would stash my shit underneath their special large amount of pot when I would do that. Okay, now again, like I say, during my senior year, we were paying the rooms. Me and my sister switched during senior year, Christmas of '84, and this was my room because I guess somehow she wanted this room. I guess somehow, I don't know why she wanted the room. I don't know, but I think she had her own agenda. I love you, Marcelo. That's my sister's name. Well, anyway, here was my room, and here I took advantage of it. There used to be a trap door. My brother sealed this door off to the attic. I don't know why he did that. Again, mental state at the time. Of course, he could have easily repaired the frame around it. But he decided to seal up the attic completely. But eventually, I think whoever's going to take over the house, they're going to probably put another trap door in there. So, anyway, so I would hide shit up there anyway. I would hide large amounts of pot in there. I would never dare put them in the vents because shit blows into AC or heat, and the house is going to smell like pot. So, trying to do this without, there was a bed here actually with a frame. There was a mattress, and I think my niece took that. But I want to show you a little something that happened. Okay, let me pull this away. Now, there was a hole right here, and I'll use like a 2x2 or, I mean, not 2x, but a 4x4 to cover up the hole. And let's see, I think my brother sealed it up pretty good. Let's see if we can, oh yes, here we go. Now, there was, I'm not purposely destroying this house. I want to show you that there was a hole where I was to store more pot in here when I was in high school. And that's where I got the idea of Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer. Here's the original floor. The original floor right here. And here is my secret stash, my secret safe. I would hide money and my pot in there. It was small enough where you could see the hole right there. I would put stuff there, especially money. I would wrap it in baggies and put it in there. I would never leave any loose bills of what I did. So, again, this video is not a mission of guilt. It's a mission of how I did Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer. And again, statute of limitations is only 2 years. And again, I was a minor at the time, so I was not responsible for my actions. So anyway, again, when I had this room, that's when mostly everything kicked into high gear. So that's where I get the stories of all my hijinks and adventures. Now, here, back in the day, when I would smoke pot, is that a fucking grinder? Shit. It's a fucking grinder. Well, anyway, I would back in the day when I would smoke pot, I would basically get a blanket, sit up on the roof, and look at the stars during the summertime and during a beautiful night, and I would smoke my weed. And here's a funny anecdote. When I was smoking pot up here on the roof, I think I was like about 17 or 18, and my mom and dad were talking, and I was like just chilling, and I was kind of eavesdropping their conversation, and my mom goes like, "Frank, I smell marijuana. William is smoking marijuana." Well, William was a guy that used to live here in this house, and he'd smoke a lot of pot, and I think he was also a dealer also, I think. But he passed away back in, I think, 2002, and because due to complications of diabetes. Well, anyway, so basically, I was old, and my mother was kind of paranoid, and my mom was like, "Frank, I'm gonna call the police on William because he's smoking marijuana." My dad says like, "Mary, mind your own goddamn fucking business." So that's when it was actually me smoking pot, and there's some of the weed that I was sparking up on the roof. So, but I had a lot of good adventures and stuff like that out here. But anyway, I would climb up. I would have a bed here, and I would just step up over the thing and out the window I went. When I would sneak out of the house, I would basically, my father would back up this truck, his camper, right by there. So I would go down there, jump on the camper, and take off. Then I would climb up on my dad's truck very quietly, jump on the camper, and jump on the roof and open the window. And that's pretty much it. I never left the window locked, and at the time, I kind of broke the lock off. So in case if somebody got wise to me and like, okay, how the fucking... I never really locked the window because there was never a need for me to lock the window. So, that's pretty much it. Here's the old bathroom where I took my showers, took my shits up here a lot. Again, the house is really fun to disrepair. One time now when I actually had this room right here, I would hide my shit behind here. And fortunately, there was nobody thin enough to slide through there. I was the only one that was thin enough at the time to slide through there. I would hide it like underneath behind this thing. But I would hide stuff, but I make sure I would do it. I would come here late at night when everybody was asleep, go get my shit, and take off and sell it at the school the following day. So, but that's what I did. But FYI, here's an anecdote. Shortly after my brother left, this is when I still had this room during my sophomore year. This again, we didn't get my own room. I didn't get my own room until my sophomore year. So it's the same thing for my brother Henry. My brother Henry took downstairs, I guess, because I guess he was too much of a mommy and daddy's boy. So basically, what I would do is that I'd have my father's ladder right here, and I would go down there and go down to the ground and walk around and take off. I only snuck out of the house only one time when I had this room. When I had the other room, my dad busted me sneaking out of the house during my senior year, and he goes like, "Why are you sneaking out of the house? You can come and go as you want." I was like, "Oh, okay." So basically, my dad busted me when I was sneaking out of the house, and he asked like, "Why are you sneaking out of the house? You're 18 years old. You can do what the hell you want to do." And I didn't realize that, but okay, fuck it, why not? But he never gave me a curfew when I started dating and all that. I started dating late in, I guess, high school life, 17. So I went out there and I started dating, and my father never gave me a curfew, but he always gave my sister a curfew. And my sister's like, "Well, how come you give John a curfew? How come you didn't give John a curfew and you gave me a curfew?" And my dad says one comply, "Marcella, because guys can't get pregnant. And besides, if John gets in trouble, John," and my dad goes like, "John, what do you get if if you get in trouble, I get an ass beating from you. Well, there you go. See, and that's good enough to turn right there. So, well, anyway, that was pretty much it. So, but this is the house I grew up in on Yukon Street, Yukon Boulevard. Let's go downstairs. But again, I had a lot of good times. Again, this is where I actually do based on Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer's hijinks. So, let's go. Go back. I'll show you the key. Definitely need the keys. I need to go buy tickets from Justice League. So I need to get ready to go out. In a minute. There we go. Okay. Then get stuck. Okay, try this one. There you go. Alright, so we're playing games. There you go. Key fell down. Put this here for the cat for the time being. Here is the backyard. So again, focal points, backyard, swimming pools. Hey, how you doing, Chino? Very good. Hold on, just like I'm doing a video for my cartoon show, Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer. I'm doing a video for Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer. So I'm showing where I get the ideas from, where I base the character's house where we grew up in. Oh, Chino. So that's what I'm doing. I don't have you on video because I have to get permission or something or whatever. But it's for the pilot I'm trying to sell to the network. So, and also for the web series and where I get the idea from. So, but here's my neighbor Chino. He's been here for like forever. like all of us, we've been here forever. So it's kind of like Trump. We're like Pocahontas. Like when he made that, when Trump did that thing with that lady. Are you taking pictures of it? Yeah. I'm showing the people are my sort of mini fan base where I grew up at the house. Like that broken window right there. My brother Henry broke that window, and he said that and my father never fixed it. He never fixed it, but Henry got an ass whooping out of it. But my dad never fixed it. That thing's been broken for over 40 years. He never fixed it. I remember when my mom would open up the window. This is when we first moved here. I was trying to remember somewhat as far as back as I can remember when we first moved in this house back in '69. My mother would say like, "Y'all two don't go too far," and she'll open that window and slide the window back. And there was no fence here at all to divide up the properties. Everything was open, no fence at all whatsoever. There was nothing. So we were like going around the neighborhood and all that. And I think some homes were already occupied already. So because this subdivision was almost brand spanking new. And at that time frame, so they started working on subdivision like in the mid to late '60s. So that's when they started building homes. It basically was like a wooded area, like these woods. It was just wooded area. So, but that's what happened, and I remember barbecues, swimming pools, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, but my mom planted these pecan trees. So, but it was all good. So. It was pretty good, so that's these days. But the shed that my dad built, first it was like a small ass shed, then he wanted a real backyard garage. But it was not actually a garage, more like a storage thing. But pecan trees and whatnot. So it's like, okay, and that's pretty much it. That's where I grew up in. From Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer, writer and creator of Diary of a Teenage Pot Dealer. My name is John Morales.